digitization, digital transformation, creating opportunities, I'm sure, across your industry for you guys as well. Perhaps it's increasing your exposure as well. Just curious how your role has changed, how your day-to-day has changed as this transformation's happening.
Yeah, I would say that both kind of industry-wide, right, or across industries, the digital transformation, then specific to my company, we're actually going through quite a bit of a data transformation right now internally, improving the quality of the data all the way through from intake to the way we store data in a more consistent way, and then modeling has led to, I think that's a huge opportunity for us. And so for me, it's, I think the call from a security standpoint is that we have to be business experts, not just security experts. And so learning the business, how it operates, and how it works, and then understanding where we're a dependency along the way so that we can advocate for ourselves. I think just by having great conversations with the leaders who are really managing and pushing this effort, and understanding their perspective it's helped me gain credibility, and then know where we fit. And I would say that they call us now a lot more often to engage early and help make sure that we're preventing incidents and that we're doing things in a secure manner from the beginning. So
that's a win, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think we had a conversation at lunch about this actually, that I think there are a lot of security leaders who are purely focused on security. And I think if you're a tech, right, or you're a SOC analyst, you can be in that bubble. But I think if you're going to be in a security leadership position, it's really on you to understand the business that you're in, the specific business, and where the risks are, so that you can have those conversations and just help drive the right agenda.
So I'm sure there's commonalities to the risks across your industry. Just curious, what do you identify as like common risks within food and beverage? How do you prioritize them, et cetera? Just kind of go through that.
Yeah, I think I think there are the risks that we all face, right, regardless of your industry, right? Ransomware, everyone's concerned about. Business email compromise. I think for us, we see activism, animal rights, and I think we manage or we're very humane in the way that we approach that. But at the end of the day, right, meat comes from animals. So I think that's a risk that's unique to us. The supply chain, right? You have live animals coming in a lot of the cases for a lot of our products. And then also distribution, because you need refrigeration, or frozen. And so being able to distribute quickly and effectively is a big deal. There was an incident this year actually that really highlighted that, where one of our cold storage providers, and that's a very consolidated industry, was ransomed and all of their distribution was down. And that had a really, I would say, a significant impact on our business, because we couldn't get meat from our plants to the end, to the consumer. So I think that's one that's maybe a little unique to food.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine any disruption is intolerable.
It's significant, right? We're resilient enough that we can tolerate some, but it's just, it all has a business impact.
Sure. To you as an experienced security leader, what are some characteristics of a mature security program? And even as it applies to food and bev or across the board?
I think, right, understanding and acknowledging those risks that are unique to our industry is important. And then I think that from a maturity or program maturity standpoint, something that we rely on is every 2 years we do an outside assessment based on the NIST cybersecurity framework. There are a lot of great frameworks that's particularly good, and we do that consistently so that we can benchmark against our industry peers, know our maturity level, and then also I pull a lot of my roadmap items come from the opportunities that are identified in those assessments. So that's really helpful for us, just to know what are we maybe missing, because I think it's easy to get blinded and just see the inside of your company, but understanding what your peers are doing and knowing how you benchmark.
I mean, you're in a regulated industry, then I'm sure that helps kind of guide what you may or may not do. But in terms of we're seeing federal government get involved, a lot of executive orders, a lot of mandates around SBOMs, code, and supply chain security, et cetera. What are you seeing on the regulatory front that may help?
I think this is, I would expect and I hope that this actually evolves in the coming years. I'm newer to the industry, so I want to acknowledge that I'm not the expert in all things here, but we're actually not as highly regulated as you would think. From a food safety standpoint, we certainly are. We have amazingly good testing to make sure that our food is safe and distributed in a safe way so that our consumers are always getting a safe product. But from a cyber standpoint and from a resilience standpoint, I think a lot of that, we're a very responsible company, so we take it very seriously. But there's not actually a lot of guidance from the federal government on what we have to do. We choose to do that in a responsible way. So I think it would help across our whole country if the regulation of food as a critical resource were maybe acknowledged, and I wouldn't be opposed to a little more sensible regulation.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. It's like you think of critical infrastructure, you think of utilities, you think of manufacturing, oil and gas. Food needs to be at the top of that list.
Take it away for a few days and see what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm with you.